Good morning, boys and girls. How are we today in Steve-O's paradise? Yes. What's old Steve-O got going on today? Well, we built a honey box. This honey box will be put out by the main road, about 5 feet, 6 feet in back of my mailbox. We talked about this on another video. Yeah. Here's the money box right here. Show me the money, baby. Right there's the slot, the money slot. We have this little 3/8 rod. That was a booger to drill out. And I realized, I found out that Harbor Freight drill bits really suck. So yeah, I go through a lot of 1/8 inch. When I'm pre-drilling, I pre-drill everything. And here's a bit that came out of this set. This 1/8 inch. I totally cooked it drilling through here. I put it in a vise and did a center punch, and then I started drilling. I did make it though. I got a little master lock down there at Lowe's that fits in there. About 2 hinges. They're pretty beefy hinges. I put a 1/16 snare cable on here with eyelets and a washer. Yeah. So those are nice beefy hinges. This thing's going to get another coat of paint. The screw heads actually came and protruded a little, so I ground them down. That gets another coat of paint on there. And so what I'm doing now is fixing to epoxy in these rare earth magnets. I got one here, hole here, there, and there. Of course, I had to penetrate clear through, so I put a piece of Gorilla Tape on it. And here's my rare earth magnets I got from my son. These things are super powerful. It's unbelievable, that little magnet. But what you want to do is take some white out, so you don't screw up the polarity of the magnet, and mark the backside with a with a piece of tape. I just use whiteout. Just put whiteout on there, and I'll be epoxying in these 4 pieces, one in each one. Now I overkill the hole slightly and push some paper towel in there. I've got some 5-minute epoxy. I got some 5-minute epoxy I'm going to mix up and put in the holes. But I just want to quickly show you this box. Yeah, I can stack honey in here. There'll be a card holder in here. There'll be a little sign here, money here with an arrow. And then there's plenty of room here to put, you could even put quartz in here if you wanted to, but I'm going to start moving my product with pints. Be 1 pound pint deals. They're going to go in here. You can put a bunch of them. I won't leave this stuff in overnight out by the road. This box will be open. The only thing that's going to hold this box shut is these magnets here. That's the only thing that'll hold this box shut. I did get a piece of 1x8. This is 1x6, but you got plywood on each side. So there'll be a little cantilever in here. I've cut a first strip here, 1/2 inch, one in the back 3/4, so that will come on top. I'll put a little piece here, just for, and then I cantilevered 3 inches on each side. I dipped them in tall earth. That whole box, by the way, is dipped in tall earth. There's my other pieces here. They've just got dipped in tall earth. And I got a 1/2 inch, 1 3/4, and then the top board will go on to cantilever over, keep the rain out. This will be mounted on a concreted in 4x4 out there behind the mailbox at a convenient height. So in case a midget comes up, wants to get in the honey box, they can get in without a problem. Very simple. I did a very simple locking system here. Very simple locking system. It goes through here like so. As you can see, this comes down. You put a padlock here. On the face of this thing, on the face of this box, my son is CNC'd me another board that's going to sandwich onto this one with about 4, 5, 6 screws, whatever. I've got this handle going to go in here. Okay, and this whole thing is going to say honey box, and then there's going to be a large V here. There's going to be a skep, the old time skep, you know, the straw skeps. And it looked like the hole's open. The little bee with a smile on his face, it's got a little bucket. He's going to be pouring the honey into the skep. And the bee has a little smiley face on him. He's also, it's three-dimensional looking thing too. And it's going to look like honey is running down the box here, the way he's done it CNC. And he's coloring it up. I think he's doing that today. I told him there's no hurry on this. We're a month or so out of making honey, so there's no big rush on it. I did order some bottles. I ordered on Amazon, what did I order? 70 some bottles, and it comes up to almost $1 a piece, or 93 cents a piece for the squeeze bottles. Those are the fancy honey bottles, and my label will fit on those by the looks of it. So yeah, this is a very simple box. It needs another coat of paint on it. I've got one coat of paint on it now. There will be another coat going on. This, like I said, this whole box I saturated with tall earth, so it should be fairly preserved. We'll see how it goes. All the joints are glued. I glued everything with Bondtite 3, so it's a waterproof glue. So I'm going to put these in now, a 5-minute epoxy, get those cemented in. Let them set all day. I'll let them sit for 24 hours before I try to drop this lid and test drive that. But what I did is made a mark here and down there, and then just measured in the center of that. And I did the same here, so that the polarity of the magnets will match up. And it's a good firm fit on this thing. And it got a nice handle here. You can, jerk the box open. My plan is on this, guys, is I'm out of here every morning going to the gym. So on my way out, first thing in the morning, I will put in, say, 4, 5, 6 pound jars of honey in here. I don't go up to the mailbox and check my mail till later in the afternoon. And then I can pull this honey out. I won't leave it in overnight. That's the way I'm going to roll on this thing. So, yeah. Slots plenty big enough to drop money in there. It's going to be $10 a bottle is what I'm selling this stuff for. I have friends selling it for $11, $12, up to $15, depending, for liquid honey. You start stuffing comb in these jars, you're gonna have to jack it up to $25, $28 for that, for cut comb, swimming in honey. Okay, keep that in mind. So yeah, this would be I think a good way to move honey. Granted, and over here I did this for a reason. This hinging on the right here, okay, this hinging on the right. Okay, the hinging on the right is for a reason. When you're standing, you come up, open this box up. Right over here, 5, 6 feet away, is going to be another post with a trail camera sitting on it. And I'm going to put that inside of a steel box so somebody just can't come up and hit it with a baseball bat and knock the camera off the post. They're going to have to work at it. The guys use them in my buddy uses them all the time, steel boxes. He puts the trail camera in. It keeps, and there's a padlock on it. Keeps the theft down. People stealing cameras all the time. You'd have to work at it to get this camera off this post, because it too will be concreted in. And it's lagged to the post from the inside. You can't get it bolts from the outside to unratchet it off of the post. So you put the camera inside of a box. And, hey, if you see some goofiness with your box, that way, see, with this camera sitting here, when they open this up to play around in this box, they will be on candid camera. So, you know, that's another thing you can do. It's probably not necessary, but I'm just throwing it in. Hey, people see a camera, they're going, let's not play games here. Let's treat the man right, and so forth. And inside the box, I've got a look. My son made a nice little card holder. I'll throw some business cards in there. There'll be a laminated sheet here, price of the honey, and a little description of my honey. As you know, raw honey is the thing these days. This crap you're getting at the store from your big box stores, it's been heated. It's basically ruined. People want local honey for the simple fact they're running with all kind of allergy issues. Hey, once it gets out that a guy in the neighborhood has raw honey, they're going to come hitting this box, I'm telling you. For the simple fact you're getting a good quality product, and you might as well, the stuff at the store, you might as well just drink Caro syrup, because there's no food value left in that stuff. So we can demand a higher price for our product, us beekeepers, because we have a quality product, let's face it. So anyway, that's a good sales pitch. And that will be indicated on a little sheet of paper. I'll have Miss Daisy type it up. I'll tell her what I want on it. She'll type it up, print it, a nice size letter so you can read it easily, and it'll be thumbtacked to the back wall. I will also have a notepad in here that they can scribble me a note if they want to, and they can shove it in the money box, whatever. And also hanging below here is another sign. Will be hanging here on hooks. There'll be a swinging sign hanging here independently with my phone number. Granted, this one here, this sign here, this sign right here will be under my mailbox right here. See, it'll have my phone number on it. It's both sides. You can get these at Man Lake. Yeah, pure local honey. Yeah. So yeah, this is going under the mailbox. Now granted, the sun will probably you probably get a year out of this thing before the UV rays cook it, you know. It's just a plastic sign. I may have my son make me up one. He can CNC me one, whatever. He has a laser now. It's really cool. He made me a card holder, and he did it all with a laser cutter. Very cool tool. But this whole thing up front here, like I said, the honeybee is going to be on here. It's going to be a scat here, and the little smiley honeybee is going to be pouring honey in there. It's going to have look like honey drooling down here, and then it's going to say honey box down here. Very cool looking deal he did up. Yeah, it's all computer printout. I mean, he gets the design, plugs it in the computer. He plugs in this dimension because he's cutting this out. He said this dimension here will be exactly 24. But he said it's a smidge under just because of the material. He said be slightly under, so you'll see a little border, but it's no biggie. That will get sandwiched onto this face of this board here. For any of that happens, I'm going to put another coat of paint on this thing, and then of course get the cantilever lid on this thing with a half inch strip. You've seen it out on the sidewalk. Half-inch strip here and a 3/4 strip here. It will be painted and all. And then I'm going to have a little gap in here, and I can probably just put another strip of wood up under here as a filler to fill in that, so we don't get hornets going up under there. That's all. But just a very simple little box here. Your money's secured in there, and it just kind of keeps people. It's better than, I was going to just put a rock here, a little river stone, and let people stick it back. But you know, the next person along says, oh, look at there's a pile of money there. Let's just take a few of those and then take one bottle and leave him, Steve-O, with nothing. Okay, so this kind of helps sweep things up. And of course the camera will help keep people honest. You're gonna have some rip-off because the world is full of like pencil necks and Nancy's, nasty Nancy's. The world's full of those people, right? But on average, most people are very, conscious, and why would they want to screw a small-time beekeeper? But there are people out there that'll do it, A lot of people on the far left will do that, but the people on the right, not so much, because they appreciate hardworking people. See? Anyway, yeah, but never get mad at them, guys, because they never do nothing. The far left, they never do nothing, so don't get mad at them. All right, something else here. It's kind of cool. My occupation's kind of cool, guys, because I meet so many people. And I meet people from all walks of life. From poor people to very rich people I meet. And I listen to their stories and stuff. It's pretty cool. The card thing is working. I'm really amazed at. Of course, I asked the man upstairs to help me too. Help me get locations. I'm doing my part. I told him, I said, hey, I'm doing my part, okay? I'm banging on the doors. I'm not banging on doors so much. I'm just putting out those cards. I make a little loop string around, put a hole through a snack bag, Ziploc snack bag, put my business card with my intentions on the back. That's printed out too on a peel and stick label, what my intentions are. And that looks kind of professional. Then some chicken scratch, on the back of the card. So the whole thing looks kind of professional, and you just put a loop in it and just dangle it over the mailbox flag. I'm nailing down. I've already got like 5 locations, guys, within reasonable driving distance. So I don't have to burn a lot of this high-end left wing. We'll call it left wing out of control gas prices. Okay, crazy. Let's throw in crazy too. Crazy, left wing, corrupt. Let's throw in a couple more. Corrupt, out of control gas prices. Yeah, let's do all that. So you can buy an EV, all right? An EV. Can you imagine, guys, me running around on this truck here, hauling bees around in an EV, and I run out of battery? I can look and see a gas gauge, and if I'm low, I can pull in a gas. If you're stranded somewhere with a bunch of bees on the back of your truck, of course it could happen with a gas burner. Yeah, duh. But no, running around, and then you buy a over-the-top crazy price for the vehicle, this EV, right? You can pick up junker trucks like this all over the place, right? But you get into an EV and it's all over-the-top crazy price range, okay? Do you know how much honey you would have to sell to run that thing around town? I don't care if it's an EV, a 99 Ranger, which they don't make, but I'm sure they'll come up with something. And then you run around, you pay over the top price for that vehicle. And then so many years later, the batteries take a crap, okay? I'm about 230,000 miles on this ride, and they ain't nowhere near ready to die. I pulled into the gas station the other day, and this young buck, he pulled up the pump. He was a long-haired young fella. He looked like a rock star. He pulled in there, and he's kind of jacked up. He's got a Ranger like mine. It's 4-wheel drive. It was a cab and a half thing, 4-wheel drive. And I said, I said, is that rig 4-wheel drive? Yeah, 4-wheel drive. He said, I had one of those you got right there. He said it died at over 500,000 miles. Yeah, over 500,000. Yeah, it finally died, he said. I said, no kid. Yeah, he said, I just junked the thing out. He said, and I bought this. And it was It was a 20-some-year-old truck he had there. He said, this thing's doing great. And he had a kayak in the back. You know, he was an outdoors kind of guy. We shot the BS for a little bit there. But he said, I love this truck. He said, it's great. It gets me where I want to go, back in the woods, he said. So that would be a cool truck to have, something like that. But anyway, I'm slipping into these areas, guys, that are pretty cool. See, I'm doing stuff that a commercial guy couldn't do, all right? I've got a small amount of bees. I don't know, I've got probably 20 boxes to play with right now. I could probably get to 40 boxes by September. You know, I'm just plugging along slowly. No hurry for nothing. Matter of fact, I'm a little bit short of supers right now. It's fixing to pop. I've got cabbage palm just fixing to bust. At some place it's already popping. I'll take you along some of these places. I can't show you these places actually at all, is the problem. For one thing, the residents are not going to want their place on YouTube, okay, for probably security reasons. So I probably can't show you that, any of that, but I can tell you what I'm doing. I'm getting actually in residential areas. I got 2 down on the water, and one of them, get this, it's right next to a large park. This park has got everything. It's got saw palmetto, it's got gallberry, it's got Brazilian pepper, it's got mangrove, all 3 kinds, red, white, black, all that, guys. I got cabbage palm in there. I got like 5 different crops that could be had on 2 locations that I just landed. Now tomorrow, I'm coming up, I'm only putting 2 boxes on one site, and I'm gonna have to hand truck it. There's my hand truck right there. I've had that stupid thing for 30 years, okay? It's still going. No air tires, it's just the 10-inch round tires. I can move 55-gallon barrels with that thing, but it's gonna be used for moving bee boxes, my 8-framers. I've got to go through, the guy was gonna let me drive down there, and I said, no, you gotta be careful, guys. You don't wanna go in there and back your truck in and run over sprinklers, and he had pavers. He had a little walk going through there with some pavers. And I could just see my truck warping those pavers all out. His wife is into exotic plants. And some of these plants look fragile, but they had great big blooms on it. She has got, this woman's got a green thumb. He doesn't. Actually, he's a cop, was an ex-cop, retired cop, and he was a cave diver too. Got into some of that crazy. I told him, man, you're a cave diver? I told him, I said, your testicles have got to be so big you're stepping on them, okay? He laughed. We had a good time. I said, no, I used to scuba dive myself, sir. I don't do it anymore. Getting too old for that live action. But he said, I don't do much of it more either. I guess you get to a point in life where you start to get puckered up, you know. But anyway, you meet so many interesting people with this profession, this beekeeping profession. You talk to so many people, and they're starting to realize, guys, that we beekeepers, we need help. We need places. They understand that bees need help. They understand that every 3rd mouthful of food that they eat, bees had something to do with that. So people get it. A lot of people are puckered up. They go, bees, I don't know. And even this spot I have, both of these locations I have, it could be an issue down the road, but don't go in there. I'm going into these places. One place I got, they all work. So I'll go in midday when they're all at work and work my bees. And you don't want to get those bees wound up, okay? Keep that in mind. Go in, do what you got to do. Even when you're harvesting honey, do that ever so gently. You do not want a firebomb in that place with bees flying around pissed off, okay? Keep it to a minimum. Do it do the timing thing correctly, because I'm not far from any of these people's back door. No, not that far. One is like 80 yards and the other one's only about maybe 50 yards. So even, I mean, I've had bees cranked up out here, and that's about an 80-yard shot from here to my back door. And Miss Daisy comes out of there and they're bumping her. No, we can't, no, you can't be doing that. So anyway, yeah, so here's something I'm doing. Normally my stands are 8 feet long. You see these nice heavy duty, these are DOT pipes. They came off a chain link fence, okay? Those 2x2s are PT with, I drilled them 1/4 inch. I drilled these 1/4 inch so I could double 14 gauge tie wire through here. And I just bend them over and then I stick them on my anvil and hit that, kind of smash it into the wood. These will go on top. These are 16 inches long. They'll go on top. It'll lay one concrete block down. Now, it depends on if you're in wet areas. You may have to stack up several concrete blocks to get out of any water issue. And one of my spots, the guy said water does come in because it gets tidal down there. And right when Pepper hits, we're talking September 15th. Well, guess what, guys? You are in the middle of hurricane season, all right? So, but if I see a big hurricane bearing down on these locations, I tell the customer, listen, I'm backing in here. I'm loading these bees out before that thing hits. And then I can always come back after the storm passes, okay? Because we don't want to take a chance of flooding bees. I've been there, I've done it. I don't want to flood bees if I can help it. But you see the pipes go in here. Normally they're 8 feet long, but I took one 8-footer, because I'm only putting 2 hives on this stand. And I'll have a concrete block down here and a concrete block down there, and those pipes come right through here, right like this. I put a half twist on them. I get that set up, and then we put an ant moat. You've seen my ant moats. They go underneath here. That's it. I got a stand set up. So it's a nice, I could put at least 3 hives on that stand easily. I don't know if I could squeeze 4 in there, but it's possible. But I'm not going to put that many in this location. In most of these places I go, 3 hives is the maximum anyway. The state won't let you put any more than 3 hives in a residential area. But these areas, oh my goodness, I mean, it's just loaded. I mean, loaded. If you get down around the saltwater, you've got red, white, and black mangroves, which are fixing to pop. I got cabbage palm, it's in the same area, saturated. And then we've got Brazilian pepper. All of that is in there, all right? And some of these spots are within striking risk. 2 of the spots, actually, I could go in April and get saw palmetto. Yeah, saw palmetto is from first thing in the spring, then right after that's cabbage, and right with there too is mangroves, and then September we get Brazilian pepper. So anyway, that's what Steve-O's doing today, getting prepped and ready for some live action on honey making. Haven't done it in years, but it's kind of fun to get back out there, visit the folks, put the cards out. Hey, I'd probably put out 30 some cards and landed 3 or 4 locations, 30 some cards. That's good. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. So I've already got just about all of my bees out where they need to be. They're going to be in the field working for me instead of just, you know. And as this crop happens, I can cut back on feeding. They're getting the natural stuff, bring it in. So anyway, that's where we're at today. Thanks for coming by. Be happy, be strong. We got to keep getting her on. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.